Phasmophobia is an enigma to me. On one hand, it can be some of the most fun I've ever had in a horror game, but on the other, it's kind of boring. Phasmophobia was the game I used to introduce my friend group to multiplayer horror, and I mean that's awesome. But as multiplayer horror continues to evolve, Phasmophobia seems to fall behind even though it's continuing to be worked on. Lately, Phasmophobia is in sort of a middle child situation for me when it comes to these kinds of games. Escape the Backrooms and Lethal Company are what I'm referring to here. Neither of those games are perfect by any means, but I mean, the more time I spend with them, the less I care about Phasmophobia. I'm not saying Phasmophobia is bad. Far from it. I really do enjoy playing this game when I'm in the right mood.
I think it's hunting, by the way. We're gonna die.
But I think there's a whole lot that this game could do to avoid a lot of its shortcomings, and I'd just like to talk about them. Take this video with a grain of salt, because I might get a little out of my lane. Try and see what I say here as a fan of the game who would like to have this game reach its fullest potential. Starting off with what's good about this game, it's hilarious. It owes most of that to being in the 4 idiots need to fight evil monsters genre, but that really isn't criticism. Unlike a lot of those games with a similar premise, Phasmophobia opts for allowing players to communicate all the time.
Okay, they found the ghost.
Due to the generally smaller maps, letting you talk all the time with your friends is a big plus. Problems arise when you actually want to do anything other than talk to each other. This game is slow, like really slow. I understand that the maps aren't that big, but like this sucks. This sucks. The only 2 speeds you can go in this game are broken legs and a brisk walk through the park. This is frustrating because you are in a game about running away from deadly ghosts. Unironically, this is probably my least favorite aspect of this game. I'm a huge fan of good movement, and this is the most restricting and painful movement I have ever used in a game. None of that really matters though. The reason people play this game is for the ghost. The ghost is the main appeal. Unfortunately, out of everything in this game, at least in my opinion, I think the ghost is the aspect that needs the most retweaking and changes to feel satisfying. Just to get this out of the way early, there is way too much waiting in this game. Oh my god. The basic premise is you go into a house, you find the ghost's favorite little room, and then you bring some equipment in and you just sit there. You just wait for the whole duration until the ghost actually decides to do something. The worst part is when the ghost actually does something, there isn't even that much the ghost can do. The main spookiness in this game comes from the ghost events, which are the things that the ghost can do to kind of like, you know, scare you and let you know like, hey, I'm here. So why is there only 3 of them? You either get Ring Around the Rosie, a red room, or literally just standing there. That is all the events. I think the biggest issue here is the lack of differences between rounds. It's things like, yeah, there's 24 types of ghosts, but I mean like the biggest difference is like that one is slow and then the other one throws more objects. At the end of the day, I'm still fighting the same ghost. There are some attempts at adding variation with cursed items. I actually really like the idea of cursed items, but I just think you need a few more things like them. The overall repetitiveness gets really noticeable, and in about 5 hours of playing this game, my friends and I kind of just didn't want to play it anymore. Basically, to recap what I'm saying here, Phasmophobia is a funny game, like 10% of the time. And while I think that its main core and ideas are pretty good, the execution can be really lackluster. Fortunately, there is light at the end of the tunnel here. Phasmophobia's roadmap mentions reworking or overhauling a lot of the problems I have with this game. I'm making this video now because I'm hoping to be surprised by this game in the future. The hope is that I can make another video of this game in the future, you know, when it gets all those updates and when it gets that full release. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna go play more modded Lethal Company. What?